Check one, check two. Check, check, check. Good morning, world. Good morning, world. We're live. Sing it, Granny Cat. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Yep. Check one, check two. Hare Krishna. Yeah, man. Live, 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 live. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the program. A little Hare Krishna for you in the morning. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Ha, 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 ha. Good morning, everybody. How are you? How are you? So we're talking about war. Right? That's what's on the menu today. War, right? War. Everywhere you look in the mainstream media, wherever you look, there's war. Right, Palestine and Israel, a war that's been brewing for 75 years. All of a sudden, it's got extremely violent and it has bubbled up to the surface. And so our fearless leader, Joe Biden, has come out in front of the cameras to explain to the American people exactly what is happening in this part of the world. He tells you that the Palestinians want to kill Jews, not kill oppressors, not kill people that they disagree with, but Jew. They kill you because you're a Jew, Jewish Joe says. And Joe Biden also suggests something fucking unbelievable. He says that there are laws, and we're going to quote him, there are the laws of war. Laws of war. Have you ever heard of such a thing? Laws of war. Now, what is war? We're gonna examine what is war. War is, you see that other guy over there, right? We're over here. And you see all those guys and gals over there and their kids and their mothers and their grandparents, right? The object is to kill them, to get them out of the way so that we can come in, right? So what is the law of war? There is none, right? It's aggression. It's violence, extreme violence. Is that the law? Right. So Joe Biden has no leg to stand on when he says that Hamas is not abiding to laws of war, because there are no such things. War is chaos. War is lawless. So Quinn Smith says, I am the law. Right? Yeah, maybe. Maybe we're all the law. We're all God, I guess. You know? But there's my thumbnail today, Laws of War. Profound. If Joe Biden goes down in history, you know, if this is his final hurrah, he was able to tell us all what the laws of war are before he dies and before before they put him out to pasture. So Marcus Conte reporting. We'll look at the highlights of the war. Wow, how fucking fascinating, right? Look, if you're in the United States, if you're in Europe, and you're watching this, there is no war here. I look out my windows. Nobody. I have a reasonably good chance of walking out of my house today and taking a walk down by the brook and not getting hit by a fucking rocket. Right? There's a very good chance that a Hamas soldier is not going to pop out of a fucking weed and shoot me. Right? It's very likely that a helicopter is not going to, drive overhead and spray me with bullets. Right? There's a reason. I have a reasonably good chance today that that's not going to happen. But if you're in the Gaza Strip, or you're in the West Bank side of Israel, or even in the city center, you may just have those problems, right? You may be getting sprayed with bullets. Right? That's what real war looks like. The kind of war we're talking about here is not real war. It's intellectual war. It's a war of words. It's a war of politics. But our war of politics spreads over into their war. All right, so we're going to watch Joe Biden's speech. He gave like an 8-minute fucking rant about our position, not just his position, but your position too, because he's the fucking president, and he's going to do what he will with American might in Israel to solve the problem. And his solution appears to be stepping on Palestine. They have no rights. They're animals. They're terrorists. They're disgusting, and they hate Jews. Right? The Jew is the one who we need to save in Israel. Right? So that's what we're talking about here. As I said, Marcus Conte. I have a website, and every morning at 9 a.m. Monday through Thursday, we are live right here on YouTube. You can join us in the live chat every morning at 9 a.m. You don't need any membership. You don't need any dues or fees. You just show up at 9 a.m. on YouTube, and you jump into the chat like all these fine people. Vinny D. Martini is in the house today. Cats Philly Camden, Zoot Suit Cooter, Quinn Smith, Spirit Child, Weevil Girl is here as well. Ken Zora. And Chris Milk. Anybody else who's watching, thank you all for being here. You know, that's what we do here. It was free speech, right? We're speaking, right, about war. We're speaking about whatever. It's not politics, right? There could be no division here about politics. This is not political speech. This is human speech, right? Humans on the other side of the globe, maybe 10,000 miles away in Israel, are killing each other. They are blowing each other up and shooting each other and chopping up their babies. Right? This is factual, right? And that's what we're talking about. Right? We're talking about human aggression, human ugliness, right? Today, right? I wish we were talking about human love and human respect and human elevation, but we're not. We're talking about the denigration of humans. In terms of war. So let's start right here. Robert F. Kennedy, if you haven't heard, has abandoned the Democratic Party completely. He says he was running for president as a Democrat. He realized that the Democrats would never support him at all under any circumstances. Even if Joe Biden took a bullet in the head, RFK would be last on the list to take his his spot, right? Because there's a chain of command, right? There's a chain of ass kissers that come next. It would be Kamala Harris. It would be the racist Gavin Newsom, right? All those guys, all those people are in line when Joe Biden falls. Right? Forget about Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren and AOC and JFK and RFK. Those people are jerk-offs, right? They can't get through the money barrier, right? But this is important because Robert F. Kennedy's finally defecting from the Democratic Party represents a big problem for both Democrats and Republicans, mostly for the Democrats, because Robert F. Kennedy was polling at about 13%. And if you analyze that, generally, it's Democratic voters. So if you rip upwards of 13% of the electorate away from the Democrats, who are already down in the polls, the Democrats have a fucking problem, right? So RFK Jr. is going to be obviously labeled as the great spoiler. Republicans are afraid of him because he I don't know. I think by RFK running as an independent, I think it benefits the Republicans because the Republicans have Donald Trump at the top of the ticket, and Trump is the favorite, right? Already, right? He's already got 50% of the population that would like to see him back in. Joe Biden takes the hit because 13% of his people may just defect to RFK. Now, can RFK pull off a landslide win? Have we ever seen something like this in America where a third-party independent candidate sweeps up and destroys the others? Yeah, the Whigs. I mean, I think it would be. I think it's as severe as if RFK wins, the Democratic Party folds. Right? It has to. I'll say that again. If RFK wins the presidential election in 2024, just like the Whigs dissolved in 1850 something, 1870, whenever it was, right before Lincoln, right? The Lincoln's party created the Republican Party, right? There was Democrats and Whigs, and Lincoln ran as a Republican and won, right? And the Democratic Party, the Whigs folded, right? So I think if RFK should pull off a victory, that would be the end of the Democratic Party, which is a great motive to vote for him, because I think he would be a good president. He would be a great, leader. He's balanced. He's historical. He stands on the right side of humanity, RFK Jr. He would make a great president, so why not vote for him, right? Why not put RFK in there instead of fucking angry Trump and sleepy Biden, right? So here's RFK Jr. Declaring his independence.
A new twist this morning for the country's most famous political dynasty.
I'm here to declare myself an independent candidate.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who entered the presidential race in April with a long-shot bid as a Democratic candidate, now embracing the role as a potential third-party spoiler.
The Democrats are frightened that I'm going to spoil the election for President Biden. Republicans are frightened that I'm going to spoil it for President Trump. The truth is, they're both right.
Wow. There he goes, right? RFK, now this is good. This is good work right here by RFK. RFK is declaring himself up front. Yes, I am the spoiler. I will spoil your election because I am better than you. Now, that's something that Ralph Nader fucking should have done, right? I am the spoiler. Yes, I'm going to spoil Trump. I'm going to spoil Biden, and I'm going to become president of the United States. That's a brilliant strategy right there, right? I like that.
Intention is to spoil it for both of them.
The controversial candidate facing an uphill climb.
Spoil it for both of them, yes.
Currently trailing far behind the frontrunners in both parties. But given he's polling at 14% in one recent survey.
14%. I stand corrected. I said 13. He's, according to Fox, he's, or today, whatever this is, 14%. Right? That's significant. That's a significant amount if hold on a second. There it is. If Biden is 31 and Trump is 33 and Kennedy is 14, right? I'm telling you, the Democrats, if faced with Biden, Trump, and Kennedy, a lot of Democrats will go with Kennedy. Remember, Kennedy is a lifelong Democrat. His father was, his uncle was, John F. Kennedy, the president. His father was Robert Kennedy, who got shot while he was running for president. This guy has historical roots in the 60s civil rights movement. A lot of people will side with RFK. So I see that as a problem for the Democrats. Bruce Springsteen, let's change a little change here. Bruce Springsteen says he's got peptic ulcers at 74 years old. Here's a shot of Bruce Springsteen falling on his face. Oh, my peptic ulcer. Oh, shit, my peptic ulcer's killing me. He jumps right up, man. Bruce is tough. At 74 years old, he's got a peptic ulcer. I just wanted to mention it because, hey, listen, man, we all die, right? The boss is not in charge of his aching body these days. So Bruce Springsteen announcing that he has, at 74 years old, on world tour, touring his music all over the world, still at 74 years old, is suffering from a peptic ulcer. And I don't know, what does it mean? Is he going to continue? I thought what the fuck, a peptic ulcer? Why don't you watch what you eat, Bruce? Stop eating crap on the run, right? Learn how to meditate and calm that fucking acid down inside, right? Hey, listen, man, you could say whatever you want about Bruce Springsteen. Say he's politically blind. He's sucking Obama's, you know what? He's up the Democrats' ass. He's a legend. The guy is the songs when you write Born to Run and Thunder Road and songs like Born in the USA. Then you could criticize, but there you go. Bruce Springsteen having a little problem. So let's look at war. Let's look at the war, right? War. I asked Chat GPT, the great AI computer thinker, the thing that's supposed to think for us, right? So it's supposed to replace human thinking, says, and I quote, I said, briefly define characterized by extreme violence, social disruption, and political and economic instability. All right, so it's armed aggression and extreme violence. So if you're armed and you engage in extreme violence, isn't it the same to shoot you want to kill your enemy, right? Your enemy has children. Your enemy has a mother. Your enemy has a wife, maybe. Your enemy has a boyfriend or girlfriend. And the object is to kill your enemy. All of them in war. You kill them. There's no law. It's extreme violence. Right? Social disruption. Yeah, okay. Wars are typically fought for various reasons, including territorial disputes, ideological differences, or resource control. So even the great AI knows that war is violence. War is extreme violence, extreme armed violence, right? And here's an example of it. 24-year-old fun-loving Utah man killed by Hamas at Israel Rave. All right, so we've heard all the horror stories. I don't want to keep reiterating the horror stories. There's so many of them coming out of Israel right now. One story caught my eye. A guy, and I had said this on the program, I think yesterday. What happens if you had missed the rave? Right? Oops, I couldn't make it to the rave, and everybody that you went to the rave with is dead. Right? And there's a guy that actually happened to. He was going to go to the rave with his girlfriend, and he had to go somewhere else, and the girl died, got shot. One of the 200 or 300 people got shot. And he got out of there with his life, right? So 260 musical festivals. So look, we know the horror, but what is Joe Biden, what is the president of the United States going to fucking do about it? What is Joe going to do about it in our name?
Good afternoon.
Tell us, Joe. Tell us.
There are moments in this life, and I mean this literally, when the pure, unadulterated evil is unleashed.
I got to say, this is what Joe Biden does well. He brings it down to the point where it's so fucking boring and so irritating, right? Especially if you disagree with him. It's so irritating that he runs this same theme into the ground. But there's people that like him. Look at the jerk-offs behind him. Look at Blinken and Harris behind him. They're like toy soldiers, right? This is orchestration, right? We stand with Israel. We stand with Israel.
On this world. The people of Israel lived through one such moment this weekend. The bloody hands of the terrorist organization Hamas, a group whose stated purpose for being is to kill Jews.
The stated purpose of being, right? That's their only purpose, Palestine, is to kill Jews. Is that their stated purpose? Yeah, half-heartedly, because the Jews are leading the charge against them. But it's not. It wouldn't be. It would be anybody who's invading their property, right? So Joe Biden falsely labels the Palestinian people as animals that want to kill Jews, right? That's it. That's their whole purpose.
This is an act of sheer evil.
All war is, Joe. All war is acts of sheer evil. The United States dropped a bomb, 2 of them, on Japan, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. We killed 200,000 people. Right? That's not an atrocity, a sheer act of terror. We carpet bombed Cambodia during the Vietnam War. We killed like 1 million people. Right? We carpet bombed Afghanistan, killed a fucking 500,000 people. We bombed Iraq and killed 50,000 people. Right? Sheer act of terror, sheer act of evil. Who's the fucking evil one?
More than 1,000 civilians slaughtered, not just killed, slaughtered in Israel. Among them, at least 14 American citizens killed. Parents butchered using their bodies to try to protect their children.
That's what happens in war, Joe. That's what happens in war. Bullets fly. That's what war is. That's why you need to stop promoting it, jerk off.
Stomach-turning reports of babies being killed.
Transgender. It's made very, very cool through the media.
We got a transgender commercial while Joe Biden is speaking. Interesting.
Families slain. Young people massacred while attending a musical festival to celebrate peace. Women raped, assaulted, paraded as trophies. Families hid their fear for hours and hours, desperately trying to keep their children quiet to avoid drawing attention.
All normal in war, Joe. That's what happens in war. All of it so far is quite normal.
And thousands of wounded, alive but carrying with them the bullet holes and the shrapnel wounds and the memory of what they endured. You all know these traumas never go away.
What happens to the trauma of the Palestinian people being shot in their homes or shot on the street or shot running away from an armed guard, right? Or rotting in a prison cell?
There's still so many families desperately waiting to hear the fate of their loved ones, not knowing if they're alive or dead or hostages. Infants in their mother's arms, grandparents.
And for the record, they turned the live chat off for this video because there's a lot of people. This fucking guy, I can't fucking stand him, man. Trump.
In wheelchairs, Holocaust survivors abducted and held hostage. Hostages whom Hamas has now threatened to execute in violation of every code of human morality. It's abhorrent.
They violated every code of human morality.
In violation of every code of human morality.
A code of human morality? What exactly is that? Forcing people to take vaccines? Forcing them to wear masks? A poverty draft where you go after poor kids in America to fight your fucking war? Look at the average income before the kids that got drafted into this war, or any war, and you'll always see poverty. Very rarely do you see wealthy kids send their kids to die in a war. It's the poor kids that sign up for it. And I don't know, they get a fucking plaque somewhere and the family's happy after they die.
It's abhorrent. The brutality of Hamas, these bloodthirstiness brings to mind the worst rampages of ISIS.
So they're now the transition to call Hamas ISIS, a scary word that worked in the past. ISIS everywhere. ISIS in Iraq. ISIS in Syria. ISIS in Iran. ISIS in Afghanistan. Right? They're bringing back the term ISIS. And they'll say, well, that was just an umbrella term for extreme aggression, and we're going to treat them like terrorists, right? Now, again, for the record, Hamas is not a terrorist organization per se. It's the elected government of Palestine. It's the elected government of Palestine. Hamas is the party in power, period.
This is terrorism. But sadly, for the Jewish people, it's not new. This attack has brought to the surface painful memories and the scars left by a millennia of anti-Semitism and genocide of the Jewish people.
And now it's anti-Semitism and genocide of the Jewish people. What does that have to do with any of this? If you're afraid of genocide and oppression, Why don't you tell the Jews in Israel to stop doing that to the fucking Palestinian people, and maybe they cut them some slack, right? Cut them some slack in the Gaza Strip, and maybe they won't throw bombs at you.
So in this moment, we must be crystal clear. We stand with Israel.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We stand with Israel. And we will make sure Israel has what it needs to take care of its citizens, defend itself, and respond to this attack. There's no justification for terrorism. There's no excuse. Hamas does not stand for the Palestinian people's right to dignity and self-determination. Its stated purpose is the annihilation of the state of Israel and the murder of Jewish people.
The murder of Jewish people, right? The annihilation of Israel. Well, what has Israel vowed to do to Palestine? The record is clear. Ariel Sharon, Netanyahu, they've all agreed that the solution to Palestine is to get rid of them, right? And this is an opportunity to do that. Look, Israel's going to kill 1 million people, I think, right? There's how many people? What's the population of Palestine? Question mark. What is the population of 4.9 million? Let's say I'm a gambling person. Not really. If there's 5 million, let's just say there's 5 million people, I would say by the time this is over, the Israelis will kill 500,000 Palestinians. Forget about the Israel side. There might be 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 Israelis killed. But the number is going to be more like 500,000, 500,000 dead Palestinians by the time this is over. That's my assumption, maybe 10%. If it goes higher than that, I'd be surprised. If it goes lower than that, I'd be surprised.
They use Palestinian civilians as human shields.
Mm-hmm.
Hamas offers nothing but terror and bloodshed with no regard.
None.
To who pays the price.
No regard. No regard.
The loss of innocent life is heartbreaking.
Mm-hmm.
Like every nation in the world, Israel has the right to respond, indeed has a duty to respond.
Whenever Joe makes an aggressive move, whenever this is a tell right here. I don't know what it means. Watch when Joe makes a statement about other nations' aggression. Watch this.
Israel has the right to respond, indeed has a duty to respond.
And he touches his nose. He touches his nose for some reason when he talks about directing aggression.
To these vicious attacks. I just got off the phone with
Netanyahu.
a call with Prime Minister Netanyahu. And I told him, the United States experience what Israel is experiencing, our response will be swift, decisive, and overwhelming. We also
swift, decisive, and overwhelming. Joe, are those you're going to hear him say these are the laws of war. He hasn't said it yet, but he's going to say it. Are these the laws of war too? Swift, decisive, and overwhelming? You overwhelm your enemy? How? By killing their kids and their mothers? Yeah. That's what war is, right? Kill.
We also discussed how democracies like Israel and the United States are stronger and more secure when we act according to the rule of law. Terrorists purposely target civilians. Purposely.
I don't know what that sizzle is. There's a sizzle in there.
Kill them. We uphold the laws of war. The law of war. It matters. There's a difference. Today, Americans across the country are praying for all those families.
Hold on a second. I want to just click this. I don't know why there's a static in there. What the fuck is going on?
Oh my gosh.
Hold on a second.
The United States, how it feels, it leaves a black hole in your chest when you lose family.
I don't know what that sound is.
Feeling like you're being sucked in. Today, Americans across the country are praying for all those families that have been ripped apart. Terrorists purposely target civilians, kill them. We uphold the laws of war, the law of war.
The law of war. There it is. There it is. Why am I getting zapped right now? Why am I getting zapped? The laws of war.
Target civilians, kill them. We uphold the laws of war.
We uphold the laws of war. That's what I wanted to hear him say. Joe Biden says, we, you, and I, and him, uphold the laws of war. Where? What are these laws of war? You do what we tell you to do because we're more powerful than you, or else? The laws of war? Blowing up Japan? Fucking slaughtering people in Syria? Slaughtering people in Afghanistan? Slaughtering people in Iraq? Slaughtering people all over all over South America? The laws of war. We uphold the laws of war. Fascinating.
The law of war. It matters. There's a difference.
Does anybody else hear that crackle in the background while he's talking? Give me a thumbs up in the chat. I hear like a sizzle, like this static in his voice.
Today, Americans across the country are praying for all those families that have been ripped apart. A lot of us know how it feels. It leaves a black hole in your chest when you lose family.
Black hole.
Feeling like you're being sucked in.
He's got a black hole right behind him.
The anger, the pain, the sense of hopelessness.
These are the laws of war, Joe. That's what happens. That's what you're supposed to feel like when somebody fucking kills your family, right? Remember it when you give the thumbs up to the military to go over there and bomb Palestine. You are the fucking criminal. You, Joe, are the crime. You are the crime boss. You are the killer, Joe. You.
This is what they mean by a human tragedy, an atrocity on an appalling scale. We're going to continue to stand united, supporting the people of Israel who are suffering unspeakable losses and opposing the hatred and violence of terrorism.
I don't know why I have a sizzle.
My team has been in near constant communication with our...
All right, so you get the point there, right? You get the point. Joe Biden says that we have laws of war. We cannot define what these laws of war are. I would argue that there are no laws of war. War is war. Peace is peace. There is no rules of evil. Evil is as evil does. Right? The flip side of that is no war. I don't want to read that. So let's look at the markets. Let's look at the markets. Ding, we're open. Holy shit, we're way up. So war breaking out all over the world, but the stock market is up. Dow Jones Industrial Average up 88, NASDAQ up 100, S&P 500 up 17. Stocks higher after wholesale inflation data surprise. So it looks like the PPI report was slightly higher than expected, meaning that price pressure, inflation went up a little bit. It ticked up 0.2 percentage points according to the PPI number, and Wall Street doesn't give a fuck about it because the shit is going up. So there it is. Everything is green this morning. Yep. Bitcoin down a little bit. So let's look at what's going on. So ARM, you remember ARM, the great IPO, hanging in there at $55 a share, not bad. Nvidia up $6 to $464. Google up $1.73. Apple up 33 cents. Amazon up $1.31. Meta, formerly Facebook, up $4.50. Microsoft up $4. Tesla up $4.50. Right? You're down on the market? Fuck you. We're going higher. Rivian up 23 cents. What else? What else is going on? The Lockheed Martin story from yesterday. Holy shit, up another 68 cents. Big gains for military industrial complex stocks. Lockheed Martin. Boeing now making a move. Boeing moving, maybe getting some war contracts. All right, Joe Biden's out there banging a war drum. up $3.61. Boeing up almost 2%. Raytheon slipping 34 cents. Come on, Raytheon, get in the game, man. You better make the bombs that people want, right? The better killing devices, right, for the military-industrial complex. And for the holiest of holy stocks, the vaccines, looks like they're even right now. They need another pandemic, right? The vaccine stocks, Johnson & Johnson, Moderna, Pfizer, they need another fucking, massive illness and some quack like Fauci coming out promoting it. Right? If they get that, then they'll start, over injecting people again, and the stocks will rally. Right? It's a hell of a way of looking at it, but we're doing good here. We're doing good. It looks like markets are continuing to go up. Goodbye, Joe Biden. So that's all I got today. War is real. War is ugly. War is murder. War is death. Right? And for Joe Biden to declare that we follow the law of war, I would like a further definition. Right? We don't kill you. It's like the British. Remember the British during the 1776 in America? The British would come walking down. They would get off the boats, off the warships, and they would start marching towards the enemy, banging drums and swinging flags. And the Indians and the natives got in the trees and shot them, right? What the fuck are these people doing, banging drums? And the Indians shot them. See, there is no rules of law. There's only rules of war. There's only war. And the object of war is to kill and win. Right? It's a bad game. Right? It's a bad game. Don't get in the game if you don't want killing, if you don't want extreme violence. Stop selling weapons. Stop manufacturing and giving billions of dollars in weaponry to people, right? Because that's what's going to happen. You give weapons to people in Ukraine, for example. How many Russians are they going to kill before it's over? How many Ukrainians are going to get killed because the Americans gave them a gun and the Russians shot them because they're running around the street with a gun? So war is evil. There is no law surrounding war. That's fiction, my friend. That is total fiction. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. I'll see you guys tomorrow, man. Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna.